Parliament at the moment is that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has tabled the white paper on the UPA era fiscal management. In the white paper, Nirmala has pointed out that the UPA left India in the fragile 5 economies. This, in fact, is a comparison of how the economy has fared over the last 10 years, which means from the year 2014 to the year 2024. And the comparison is done to a decade earlier, which means from the year 2004 to the year 2014. Finance Minister has now tabled the white paper, and this is a paper on the UPA times, the fiscal management that was being done by the government at that time. In the paper, it's very clearly written how at that time Indian economy was in fact counted in the fragile 5 economies. Nirmala Sitharaman, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, have time and again pointed out to us the fact that when they came to power in the year 2014, the economy was in shambles, and it has taken them 10 years to make sure that from the fragile 5 economies to the top 5 economies of the world. That's the kind of development that the BJP government has done. This is what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman at various points has pointed towards. This white paper has now been tabled in Lok Sabha.
Sir, I rise to lay a white paper on the Indian economy, both in Hindi and English versions. Sir, I rise to lay a white paper on the Indian economy, both in Hindi and English versions. Sir, I rise to lay a...
We have seen how the southern states over the past 48 hours, the chief ministers, the deputy chief ministers have been in the national capital speaking about the fact that they believe there is discrimination being done against them. But on the other side, we have the government which is now coming out with this white paper which has been tabled in Lok Sabha. My colleague Paulami is joining me on the story. Paulami, we have seen from Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Finance Minister to all the top leaders, including Piyush Goyal, they have been speaking about the fact that over the past decade, the economy has grown by leaps and bounds. And now we are seeing this white paper being tabled in which they are pointing towards the fact that when they got the economy, it was a scam-riddled economy.
That's right. The aim of this white paper, which has just been tabled by the Finance Minister in the Lok Sabha, is basically to project and tell the country that there was alleged mismanagement of finances in the UPA era, the UPA decade of 2004 to 14, and they have fixed much of it in as far as the economy was concerned between 2014 to 2024. Just to go through, just a couple of sentences, the overview as far as this white paper is concerned. It says, and I quote over here, in 2014, when we formed the government, the economy was in a fragile state. Public finances were in bad shape. There was economic mismanagement and financial indiscipline, and there was widespread corruption. It was a crisis situation. The responsibility to mend the economy step by step and to put the governance system in order was enormous. Our government refrained from bringing out a white paper on the poor state of affairs then. That would have given a negative narrative and shaken the confidence of all, including investors. The need of the hour was to give hope to the people, to attract investments, both domestic and global, and to build support for the much-needed reforms. The government believed in nation first and not in scoring political points. Now that we've stabilized the economy and set it on a recovery and growth path, it is necessary to place in the public domain the seemingly insurmountable challenges left behind as a legacy by the UPA government. Every challenge of the pre-2014 era was overcome through our economic management and our governance. These have placed the country on a resolute path of sustained high growth. This has been possible through our right policies, through intentions and appropriate decisions. So this is what the overview of this white paper says. They've done a comparative analysis, Aishwarya, of then and now, and they've presented a table of sorts of various things from LPG connections to GDP per capita, to capital expenditure, electronics exports, foreign direct investments, various such factors of then and now. They've done a comparative analysis and have put the numbers out. Of course, it is for the people to decide whether indeed the economy has been fixed or not. The voter, of course, will be the final word on this. But yes, the government today is saying that we fixed the economy. It was an insurmountable challenge that we were faced with in 2014. But we have, in fact, because we didn't want to give the impression that we were politicking at that point of time, we didn't come up with a white paper at that point of time to give you a sense of the sad state of affairs. But when we fixed it, we're going to tell you what happened and what we've done in our decade.
So,
And we have also seen, Paulmi, how repeatedly Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been citing Rajiv Gandhi's famous remark in the year 1985 when he was the Prime Minister of the country. And during an election rally, he said that every rupee that the government spends towards the welfare and poverty alleviation, only 15 paisa actually reaches the intended beneficiary. Now, corruption is something that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP, has been speaking about. And now in this white paper, very clearly they are saying that the UPA used to have coal gates. We actually have clean auction of the coal.
That's right. Corruption is one of the big, highlight points as far as this white paper is concerned. This was something that the Prime Minister, as you rightly pointed out, also he's been saying about it, he's been speaking about it, and in his last address, when he spoke in the Lok Sabha in the reply to the motion of thanks on the President's address, he mentioned this again as well. That they say that the agencies are after us, the agencies are after us. Well, the agencies are after you because you have been corrupt. You have basically defrauded the nation, and that's exactly why the agencies are after you. The agencies are independent institutions. They will go after any individual, however high up in position they are, high up in society they are, only if there is evidence of the same, and it's the courts that then adjudicate in the matter. It is not the government, and you may call me names, you may say whatever, but my relentless fight against corruption will carry on, is what the Prime Minister said on the floor of the House.
Thank you, Paulmi, for giving us all those details. The white paper on economy, a comparative analysis, has been tabled by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Lok Sabha.